Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to another episode of the Canadian Cattle Farmer here in Chilliwack, British Columbia. It's been a wee while since we have been back here on the farm. Well, when I say been back here, we've been carrying on working. We've got into winter. We are into December, actually, the later half of December, and there hasn't been a huge amount going on around the farm. We had all our crops planted, harvested, and everything that we needed to get done, and we've really just been looking after our animals. Lots of feed mixes being made and lots of animal feeding going on. We've been selling some milk, which has been good. That has been a great source of income for us over the past couple of months. And the brown Swiss cows, which if you remember, we've now moved over into the big freestall barn there. They've started producing milk as well, so we've actually boosted our income off milk, which is pretty exciting. So we're just getting some food mixed up to make for them, to get them fed. Everything else is pretty much well looked after. The cows, or the cattle in here, the beef cattle, aren't actually using too much food or eating too much food, so they're actually pretty low maintenance. Once every month or so we just mix up a mix and give them a food, but they've got plenty in there to keep them happy, which is good. They are fattening up nicely, and we'll have to do a little bit of research into when's going to be the best time to sell them. But the other exciting news on the farm, and there's a few little things we're going to talk about, but firstly, both of the herds of Holsteins have had their calves, so we've actually boosted our numbers by an extra 100 head, which means we're going to do a little bit of reorganization. What I think we're going to do, and we're going to do that today, is bring all of the Holstein cows down here so that all our milking cows are in the big barn, and then we'll worry about the calves, the younger animals. We'll put them all in one of the other of the two cow barns that we've currently got the cows in, just at one of the other farms, so we can sort of consolidate our feed, because at the moment we're having to run down and feed those cows, the Holsteins, and that quite frequently, and it's quite a way to go. So if we can get as much sort of consolidated back here, then we should be able to set things up running here a little bit more automated, and just be busy mixing up loads for both the truck and the big feed mixer here, which we're in at the moment. So that is the plan. Right, left the lights on, we'll come and sort that out a little bit later, but let's go and get a load of food taken into the Swiss. One little issue I have come across while we're managing to get milk out of the big barn there using the placeable milk trigger from the buildable feedlot by Schultz Modding, it doesn't seem to be, when we do the automatic selling, it's selling the milk, but it doesn't actually consume it. So actually at the moment we've got 77,000 litres of milk sitting here in this barn, or in the milk tank here, but it does seem to be selling it, and we do seem to be getting an extra bit of income at 6 AM every day. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. We've tried to test it out and see if removing the trigger or something like that might fix it, and nothing's actually come through to help with that. So we might just have to accept the fact we're getting money off it from one way and make sure we just don't double up on it or anything like that. But we are going to bring, as I said, we are going to bring the Holsteins down here and share this barn with them as well, so that should be good. Now the other thing, as you can see, we've got a lot of money, up to 512,000, and getting that $100,000 of milk every month is pretty handy. Well, $150,000 I think it is up to now is very handy. We're paying down our loan and things are looking pretty rosy for the farm. So we are going to be purchasing an extra bit of land. We've talked about it before. It's just the triangle that's just over the other side of the farm, so we'll go and take a look at that and get that purchased today, so that when we come to spring and we have some work, that's going to be needing to be ploughed up and converted into a big field for us. So there's plenty of things to do there. Just slow down a little bit, or we're going to run out of trough to put the feed into as we're driving along. And the other plan is that our oats are actually getting to a very good price to sell. We're just going to take a look at that right now. So as you can see there, we've got 230,000 litres of oats in our bins, $737 per 1,000 litres, max price is $740, so we're only about $1,000 off getting that max price. So I think once we've got the animals all fed, we may as well go and get that all sold, because there's no much point holding out for that extra $1,000. We're better off to get it done while we're here and while we're keeping busy. So that is pretty much the summary of what we're going to be doing today. Lots of time in the truck, moving animals around and moving some oats around and getting it sold. But that's our feed mixing done for now. We'll go and park this up, and I think we'll go and get sorted with a couple of trucks. We'll get the stock truck up and running, we'll get the cows moved, and then we'll look at getting those oats sold. We've got the truck hooked up to the Silver Star trailer here, ready to go and get the cattle all picked up and moved. We're just going to let that warm up for just a little bit, and while we're doing that, we're just going to go and take a very quick look at the animal screen. So as you can see there, under both pens, field 125, the ones there, we've got our extra 50 calves, so those are the new younger animals. You can see they're only 1 month old. And then we've got 49, so I'm not sure why we only got 49 out of the 50. One obviously didn't quite make it through in the cold conditions, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you can see there's another 49 there, and they're only 0 months old, so we'll need to go and get them all moved and put into one spot. Otherwise, everything else, you can see the limousines there, they're well fed, and I've got plenty of food in, as do the Anguses. 80,000 litres, in fact 105 for those ones there, so they're all looking pretty good. And then down the bottom are our brown Swiss. We let them run out of food actually overnight, so we've just doubled them up and caught up with things there, but you can see that 78,000 litres of milk which hasn't been being sold, but we'll get that productivity back up, and they're actually not too far away from having some young ones as well, which will be nice to boost things up there again and get them growing. So lots and lots going on, but anyhow, that should be the truck all nice and warm and ready to go. So let's jump in, we'll head on down and go and pick up some cows and bring them back here to the farm. So first things first, we've come down to the barn just down the road here. We'll go and get loaded things up. Now I've been giving it a little bit of thought. If we're going to move all the young animals to one of the barns, I've been trying to decide which one might be best to keep. Now obviously we do have the clover here which is growing, and I'm looking forward to finally getting the opportunity to harvest the clover after the little hiccups we had when we first planted it. It's taken a long time to get here, so we're certainly going to keep this field to get at least one cut of clover off. But I'm wondering now whether we might be better off to move all the animals down to the other barn, the one down over the train tracks, and have the young ones over there, have the older animals back at the main yard, and that will leave us that big clover field down there. So we could potentially divest ourselves of this bit of land and this barn and consolidate things just a little bit further. It's something we've been doing obviously as we've gone through. We've kind of gone from having 4 different cattle barns all around the map to now just the 2 remote ones with what we've got at the main farmyard. So some considerations there, some things to think about, but I think that could be something as we start to progress further through that we might look at doing. But let's jump in, we'll go and get some animals loaded up and get them delivered back down to the yard. So we'll take 48 of the cows. Obviously, I've had a couple of comments, why don't I have 48 rather than the 50? Well, that's just because we started off with 50 when we set the farms up. We pre-purchased them all here at the barns with the animal triggers rather than worrying about exactly how many we could fit in the trailer, which is why we're at this. With it all consolidated, with the animals all back at the yard together, we're not going to have quite the worry and issue with it that we've had with moving them all around the barns. But there we go, that is a full trailer load, 48 cows, 48 older cows ready to produce some milk, or already producing milk, that we're going to go and get put down in the free stall. So we'll get them delivered, come back and grab the last 2, and then it'll be a time to run the younger ones over to the other side of the map, over to the other barn, and get those ones moved in here. So a little bit of juggling, a few animals to move around, and we'll be sorted, it'll be good. Now just as we drive back along here, just a little bit of a reminder of the current state of these fields. So the 2 fields up here on the right, or the one big field we merged, currently sitting idle. There's nothing in that field at the moment. My plan is, come spring, we're going to plant that with corn. So we're going to have a big field of corn here that we're going to use for our maize silage right through this one. So I think that's going to be a good option. It's going to be a big field to harvest, which will be a lot of fun. A little bit of a challenge of course, but it should be good to go. And then we've obviously got the next field along, which you can just see coming in here right opposite the farm entrance, which has wheat in it, and that will be providing our straw come harvest time. We've also got the field down the back of the farm, all the way back down past here. That's got wheat in it as well, and then we've got the grass around the farmyard. So if the new bit of land that we're going to purchase, which is just over in that direction, if we were to go and put that with grass in it, that will give us a decent amount of grass for our silage and hay, grass silage and hay. So that is the bit of the plan at the moment. Things could change, but we'll see where things end up. Anyhow, that's chewed up a little bit of time on our drive back. We'll get driven over. We've got the trigger for the trailer is to unload down the other end of the shed, so we'll go and get back into that and get these cows put into the barn. And there we are, 48 of them being moved into the barn, and we should find, we've got none in the truck now. We'll drive back around the front and have a look, and hopefully we'll see some Holsteins in there mixing and mingling with our brown Swiss. And there you go, you can see them wandering around in there as well, so that's good. Getting those all put in here, and we've obviously got a good amount of food in there for now, which is good. Right, let's head on back down. I'm not going to bother showing you moving everything else. We'll just touch base probably when we're moving the last of the young animals down into the bottom barn, or it might be that when we're bringing the last of the animals up to this one. So let's go and get them all picked up, get them moved, and we'll catch up with you in just a little bit. But before I do that, I just realised I drove the whole way down here and the whole way back on completely the wrong side of the road. I pulled out of the farm entrance and there was a calf coming down towards me. Completely reverted back to normal driving, or normal for me, that is, not normal for British Columbia and Chilliwack in Canada. So here you go. Been a bit rusty having been away from here for just a little while, but we're back on the right side, and we'll make sure we observe the road rules from here on forth. The last couple of cows on board here with us, and that will be all our animal juggling done and dusted. So we'll just get them in here and unloaded. Only 4 of them we had to bring back that time, and we get those moved over. And then, once we've got out of here, we'll go and have a look in the animal screen and see where everything is now. So we've got the 99 younger animals, the newly born ones, all down there at the field 203 in that pasture, in that barn. So that is where we'll be taking them for feeding. So hopefully they're not going to need too much food, as they are quite young. They're not going to produce much at the same time, but that's fine. We'll keep them healthy and happy, and hopefully get them to grow up a little bit and be able to make some money off them. And then down the bottom here, you can see we've got the 150, the 100 Holsteins, 50 from each of the 2 pens, and then the brown Swiss there as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now that we're producing the milk in from this one, and also to see how much food we go through, because obviously their food demands are going to be a whole lot higher than they have been. Well, not higher, but the demand in the one barn will be much more than we've had to do previously. So that is going to be a little bit more of a challenge as well. So with that all done, let's go and park the truck up, or park this truck up at least, and we are going to go and grab the trailer, and we will go and get the oats sold. So we're hooked up to the trailers. Let's go and get ourselves over here to the silo, get into the bins and get things loaded up. So I think, what did I say, 230,000 litres of oats to get hauled, and last time I checked the best sell point was Alberta, so we're going to have to go and load it onto the trains. But let's just drive in under here, see if we can get that loading. Find some oats. There we go, 231,000 litres. So we haven't actually got that square on. It looks a little bit messy, but it's going into the back of the trailer, which is the key thing here. So we'll get that one loaded up. It doesn't take too long actually to fill up. It's a nice fast load speed there. Another load of oats, again missing the trailer. We'll make sure we do a better job of getting in there nice and straight next time. Alright, that's the truck full, the front trailer full. We'll get the back one done, and then we'll be off down to the train yard. Alright, and there we are, fully loaded. So let's get this hauled down to the train. So we can take 75,000 litres per trip. So we're going to be just over 3 loads to get it all down there. It'll be 225,000. So we'll see, we might just do the 3 loads and leave the last little bit sitting there in the bin maybe for another opportunity. We'll decide once we've got this unloaded. But let's head on down there and go and get this put into the silos down at the train, and then we'll get the train all ordered and down here to get it delivered. So in fact, what we might do, we might just time lapse this for the next couple of minutes, get some trucks on the road, and we'll see you once we're all finished, probably with the train ready to go. That's the truck put away. We've got our oats delivered, well, most of the oats. We're just going to get that closed down because we probably need to leave that, or should have those trucks all in there and cover in the shop while it's snowing. In fact, we'll go and grab the other one from over here and put it in the other end of the shed as well. But we're going to jump in the pickup in just a minute and we'll go for a drive down and go and get the train all organised. I decided not to take all the oats. I ummed and ahed about it. I think there's about 8,000 litres left sitting in there, but that's fine. We'll find a home for that without any issues. In fact, if we go and plant any more oats in spring, we'll have some more net this time next year to sell, but we'll wait and see. At the moment, that's not on the cards, but you never know. Things could change, so we'll get that pulled in there as well. Turn it off. Let's go and find the switch for the door. Must be over the other side here. Get this one closed up as well. There we go. And when it's coming down, we'll sneak out. I'm going to jump in the pickup and head on down to the train depot, train yard, and get the train all sorted. And go and get these oats delivered off to Alberta. So we'll just go and park up here in the shed, and then we'll go and get the train ordered. I think it's just at the shed there. The little green shed's where the trigger is, if I remember correctly from last time we did it, last time around. Let's just go and see if we get a trigger or something here. Let's have a look around. No, maybe it's up on the tracks. I can't remember exactly where it was. There's nothing there to order a train. We'll just go and pop up here and have a look on the tracks. There'll be a trigger somewhere. We will go and find it. We'll turn the triggers back on so we can see where it is, and we'll get the train to come down. Not at the shed, it's at the door here. We'll pop over there. You can see we can rent the train $1,000 an hour, so that will arrive soon, 4 kilometres away. It's a wee way away, so we'll have a little bit of a wait. And while we're doing that, actually, let's just pop up here. Have a quick look, because just over the other side here, this is going to be our new piece of land we're going to buy. Stretches all the way back down that way towards, so you can see a house just in the distance. And if we just pop through here just a little bit, into the other side, there's our wheat field and our grass. This is our grass, and then the wheat's just back here. So it's pretty well connected into everything that we're doing already. It's going to be a good spot to add in. We'll have to create a couple of crossings in here through the trees, clear that out a little bit. I think we might put a track across the front against the road, have an access way from the yard all the way down into here, but lots and lots of land to plough up and get planted, so we'll be doing that and when spring comes, when the ground has thawed out enough that we can get in here and get some ploughing done. Anyhow, let's pop up here, we'll wait for the train, can't be too far away. And here it is, the Canadian Express. It's not really, but we will jump up here in the front, get our boarding pass, and we should be able to pull forward and get the first of the cars there opened up. I think we'll need to use 2 of them, probably 3 of them actually, to get everything loaded up, because I think these have about an 80 to 100,000 litre capacity, depending which one it is. But if we just get stopped there, start getting some oats put in. There we go. The lid opened on the next one. No lid on the next one. It is just an open one, so that's going to be easy enough. So we'll just get that one filled up, and if I can go back far enough, we've got the lid open here already on the third one, if we need it, which I think we will. Pretty sure we'll be looking at about 80,000. A little bit more on this one. 90,000. 90,000 in that, and we'll see what's in the next, but I'm pretty sure we are going to need all 3 of these cars to get all our crop sold, which is good. It's good having lots of crop. Just scroll through those and get that lid closed while we wait for the next one to fall. And once we're ready, we will get on our way. Alright, and there we are, all loaded up. We did just need the second car, so we had 90,000 in the first one, 120 in the second, and 15 in the third. But we did need all of them, so we'll get this cranked up and head on down to Alberta and go and get some more money. Just coming up on the edge of the map, we'll get kicked out of the train in just a second when it asks us if we want to sell everything in it that is in here. Get to the edge, and there we go. Do we want to sell all the goods? Of course we do. And $166,000 plus, of course, the $16,000 environmental bonus. So that's not bad. $182,000. Love it. Right. Just while we're here, interestingly enough, the NPC who has taken over this field, since we sold it, they're growing wheat. But of course, because we made the field a little bit bigger and planted the alfalfa, that is still sitting here around the edge of the field. And in fact, the part up here, which we planted as well, ploughed up and planted, is all still alfalfa. So just a funny little quirk of the game. Anyhow, we'll leave that there, and we'll head back on over to the yard, and we're going to take a look at the new field that we're going to buy. So we've just been in the house, we've been talking to the owner, and everything's all settled. We just need to transfer the money And this little plot will all be ours, but everything is signed, sealed. So we thought we'd throw the drone up and just have a little bit of a look up here. You can see the farmyard there in the background, train yard on the right there where we just were selling the oats. And this is going to be ours. So we'll get that all sorted out, get some money moved over. And this is going to be our big spring project, getting this all ready. As you can see, there's a couple of crops here. There's a bit of maize or corn there, a withered crop, something growing, and arable field down the back. But we're going to ignore all of that. Obviously, there's no benefit to us to keep any of this. It's just such a small area. So we're going to plough it all up, get all this grass ploughed in, leave the house there with a little bit of a section and yard around it. But other than that, we are going to get it all gone and turn it into one good big grass field. And then I think as we come along the edge here, we'll get some earthworkers in and get a bit of a track made along the side of the field here, which will give us access back into the main part of the yard, which will be perfect. It should work out very, very well. So we'll get that sorted out and look forward to some progress coming soon. And there we go, $184,000 transferred. So we've still got over $500,000, which is very, very nice. We do still have the loan we're paying down, but it's nice to have that income and have that money sitting in there. We'll have to start to think as well, what other options for upgrades there might be in the farm. I know combine is on the list. Maybe even some more animals, getting some more beef in there, get some more Angus or limousine cattle in there and get them starting to fatten up, because we do want to make sure we have a steady rotation of those. We'll do some research into when's going to be the best time to sell the ones we have, how much bigger they're going to get, how much more money we could potentially make. So lots of things to consider. Lots of things to consider, but I think that is going to do us for winter here on the Canadian Cattle Farmer. We'll make sure we get everything fed and keep everything happy and running over the next couple of months, and next time you see us we'll probably be into spring and making a start on some of that work in the field next door, and also getting our corn planted, or thinking about getting our corn planted up in that top field, depending on timing. Ideally, I think if we just spin around really fast there with the drone, I think we'll be into this field over here and getting that all ploughed up and turned into grass as soon as we can, so that we can get as much growth and as many cuts off it during the next growing season. Anyhow, good to be back here on the Canadian Cattle Farmer. I hope you've all enjoyed that episode. Bit of a catch up, bit of a messy one of tasks to do over winter, but it's been good to get them all knocked out and done all the same. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.